Hello everybody, welcome to the Coaching Conversation. I'm Graham Wiley and I've been coaching business leaders for the last 2 decades. In this series we're going to explore some of the things I've seen and learned in that 2 decades and hopefully help you see how you can become more focused, more effective and hopefully happier in your life. So it's now time to sit back, relax and enjoy the Coaching Conversation. Hello everybody. As you know, in the Coaching Conversation, our goal is to share with you the sorts of issues that we experience with our coaches, our clients, and help you get an insight to help you perhaps deal with issues that you're faced with, perhaps help you become the person you want to become, achieve the things that you want to become, just like any other coaching conversation. One of the topics that has clearly become much more of the moment, much more relevant now, is the job market. It's just simply a fact that whether it's caused by Brexit, whether it's caused by COVID, whatever the drivers are, there are significantly higher problems, significantly more difficult problems in recruiting talent into organisations than there were perhaps 2 or 3 years ago. And whilst, because we coach and work with a wide variety of organisations, those problems at a detailed level are unique. Particular skills, particular experiences, particular locations might be very different. The truth is, the generalisation of the fact that it's hard to find good people, it's hard to keep good people, is true for everybody. And so, what are the sorts of things we see that work? Or what are the sorts of things that we see are actually being played with and experimented with people in an attempt to be creative and different? Well, the first thing that we see is a focus on retention. Because clearly, if the bucket's not leaking, or certainly not leaking as badly as it might do, it's easier to find replacements. There's less pressure. The focus on retention means people are really thinking very carefully about their relationship with their team. Whether that's terms and conditions, whether it's hybrid working, whether it's offering incentives and reasons to be with you that otherwise weren't important. And then that can be not simply a matter of changing working conditions. It can be all about the way in which people are managed, the way in which they're involved, the way in which they're engaged in the business, rather than simply doing it the same old way that you did pre-pandemic. The actual recruitment process, there are talented people out there. There are talented people who are very much more willing to change jobs now than they ever were 2-3 years ago. And it's interesting, therefore, that if you are actively in the market and seeking that talent, there's a jolly good chance you're going to bump into it. And so there are 2 or 3 stages to that. First of all, you've got to get active. You've got to do the things that are going to enable you to find that talent, engage with that talent, and get a chance to put your offer to them. The second thing is that when you are putting your offer to them, you may have to be more flexible, you may have to be more adaptive in what you're looking for from them and how you're going to get it, because they've got more choices than they used to have. And so perhaps bringing somebody on who's not quite as skilled, who needs a bit more training, perhaps bringing somebody on who's a little bit more expensive than you really wanted to pay, perhaps bringing on somebody who's not quite in the right geographic location, but you can find a way of making it work one way or another. The attraction process, the bumping into people process, we've seen has shifted really, really markedly. Historically, employment agencies, recruitment agencies, clearly had in many cases, a big role in finding talent. But because of the advent of the digital world, because over the last 2 years people have become increasingly more committed to their PCs, increasingly more committed to, for example, Zoom, they are more open and more focused on what's going on digitally. So recruitment using LinkedIn, and not just placing an advert on LinkedIn or placing a post on LinkedIn, but being actively promoting your business on LinkedIn in conjunction with the recruitment process, seems to go a long way to catching people's eyes. Another aspect is that making sure that when you do engage with them, you are as much in listening mode as you are in transmit. Because you want to know what the success factors are going to be in your relationship with them from their perspective. That way you can do your best to match it. And that requires quite a lot of empathy and a change to the style of employer-employee interviews or first conversations. Another aspect that we're seeing, another technique that we're seeing that has been around a very long time, which is the confidential headhunt, but it's back really front and centre, because if people are not actively seeking a job, you've got to go find them. And the skilled researchers in that particular sector are the very, very best way of unearthing these people and reaching out to them. These are talented organisations, these are talented people who know precisely what they're doing and have the wherewithal to reach out to people that are otherwise not looking for a job. And all in all, this wraps up into you just need to be a lot more active, a lot more adaptable, and recognise that the employees have got new requirements. There's fewer of them, your choices are more limited, and they're more choosy too. So you've got to work harder, you've got to put more into it, and you've got to accept that it's not the way that it used to be. And the more you do that, the sooner you do that, the better the chances are you're going to attract and retain the kind of talent that you would like to. So, attracting and retaining talent in a post-pandemic world. I hope you found that helpful. I hope you found that useful. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye. So, there you have it. The latest edition of the Coaching Conversation. Hope you found it interesting. Hope you found it useful. You can find out more about our coaching programs at theexecutivemindset.co.uk. If you want to reach out, you can send me an email at theexecutivemindset@sagegreen.com. You can book a free 30-minute session at theexecutivemindset.co.uk, which will give you a really good feel for how coaching could help you. And if you've really enjoyed the session, do please rate us, do please give us a review. And nothing more for me to say other than see you next time.